On the 27th of April, 2026, Lieutenant General Dr. Molefe Isaac Fani, Divisional Commissioner of Supply Chain Management in the South African Police Service, was formally served with a notice of intention to suspend in terms of the South African Police Service, SAPS, discipline regulations. This action follows findings by the Special Investigating Unit, SIU, relating to his tenure at the National Treasury, where he served as the acting chief procurement officer. The findings relate to a contract that was declared irregular due to noncompliance with supply chain management prescripts, conflict of interest, and wasteful expenditure. On the 10th of May, 2026, the Divisional Commissioner of Supply Chain Management, Lieutenant General Dr. Molefe Isaac Fani, was suspended. He will be subjected to the SAPS disciplinary processes for alleged misconduct. On the 26th of May, 2026, I came across this article. The suspended SAPS Divisional Commissioner for Supply Chain Management, Lieutenant General Dr. Molefe Isaac Fani, has once again been served with another notice of investigation and intended suspension in relation to the Medicare 24 Tshwane District tender awarded to Vizumuzi Cat Matlala. General Fani was the chairperson of the Bid Adjudication Committee, which awarded Medi 24 Tshwane District a 360 million rand tender. The company is owned by Cat Matlala. This is what he said when he was speaking to Ian Cameron in the Ad Hoc Committee of Parliament.
So you've basically breached the South African Police Service. You're a breach. That's what you're saying. Your office is a breach to the security of the South African Police Service. Don't look at the chair.
I'm not sure I understand your question.
Well, it's quite simple. You allowed a criminal to get a 360 million rand contract in the South African Police Service.
It's not allowing. It's not true.
You did. How else?
No,
You didn't vet him. He was flagged. He didn't comply with the majority of the relevant things he was meant to comply with. That was found in 2 different audits. There were fraudulent signatures on medical certificates. So, General, you allowed it. Whether willingly or not, you allowed it.
No.
And it's not the committee. The buck
it's not
stops
allowing.
with you.
Honorable Chair, I would like to respond to that we did not allow. I have indicated that the adjudication committee looked at the information at their disposal. I have to concede that irregularities were picked up. It is not a deliberate act that we wanted that company to come and operate in the South African Police Service. The process that was followed. In fact, if you look at the process was correct, but there are steps in the process that were not done correctly.
Then the process wasn't correct. I'm sorry, General, you keep on telling us about processes. You even gave us a printout. So you don't need to repeat it again. And I'm sorry if I come across rude. The point is just, you can say you didn't allow it, whether it was willing or not willing, you gave access. You and your team allowed a man like Cat Matlala to get access to the South African Police Service.
What is at Annexure MF6 is the responses, the further responses from the National Commissioner following his engagement with the evidence leaders. And just to recap, the responses from the National Commissioner says that he was contacted by a gentleman from IDAC called Mr. Sunil Belichan in and around May 2024. So just in terms of the timeline we're talking about, this is after the bid evaluation committee has completed the evaluation, but before the bid adjudication committee awards the contract, makes the final award.
Correct.
And what the National Commissioner indicated was that this gentleman from IDAC had raised concerns that there was Medicare 24 Tshwane did not have a valid tax clearance certificate and had been blacklisted, and that it seemed to have been linked to an entity that was linked, or a person that was involved in Tembisa Hospital. So you were then indicating that from this response, he said that he spoke to an official.
Yeah, he had not spoken to me. He had spoken to the official in my absence. I was on leave at the time, and National Commissioner was assured that there is nothing untoward with regards to the evaluation process. When we started, I'll just mention that part here because it's critically important, even though we are not dealing with the adjudication process. When the bid adjudication set and we did the declaration, it would appear that the bid adjudication committee members did not know of any concerns that were raised by IDEC, because when I called upon for them to declare, none of them had any declarations to make with regards to this contract. Neither did I have any declaration because it was unknown to me that this concern had been raised with the National Commissioner.
Yes, but it had been raised with the National Commissioner. Who's the official that the National Commissioner says that he spoke to?
In his letter, in his response to the chairperson of this committee, the National Commissioner has indicated that he had spoken to Major General Hankins.
Yes, and in what capacity was Major General Hankins acting at the time?
I was on leave. She was acting as the Divisional Commissioner of Supply Chain.
So then, despite those, the concerns were raised, then you proceeded to the adjudication.
The unknown to the bid adjudication committee, the tender was tabled to the bid adjudication committee for adjudication, and we did sit as the adjudication committee to adjudicate.
And then on the 18th of June 2024, Medicare 24 Tshwane was awarded the health risk management services contract. Is that correct?
That's correct.
So, General Fani, can I now request that we look at the bid evaluation committee report? It's at Annexure MF7.
Can I get the page?
Page 368. So, certainly just to clarify, the heading of the document is written Submission Bid Adjudication Committee. Is this the report of the Bid Evaluation Committee?
That's the report compiled by the bid evaluation committee for consideration by the bid adjudication committee.